everybody? It's your favorite fire status, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Incinerator Trooper from The Mandalorian from Hasbro's Star Wars Black Series line. Another trooper, right? Crazy world we live in. With that being said, at least it's got some different stuff going on. Not a whole lot of different stuff, but some different stuff, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. And we'll start with accessories. So, I can't show it without it. Obviously, he holds it just fine. He actually holds it pretty well. Decent sculpt on the flamethrower, not a lot of paint, and it's unfortunate because there's a lot, actually there's no paint on it. It's unfortunate because there's a lot of sculpt work on this, and it really would have brought that out. So that's a bit of a bummer. It does have these wires that go back here into the tank. The tank has the Imperial symbol on it, but other than that, not much going on. It's pegged in and attached to this piece that goes around him here. It doesn't peg in great. Mine, this one in particular, keeps coming off. And then you have the shoulder pauldron with the red paint added on, and the rest is just black with sculpt work, and it's nice enough. Obviously, it's not going anywhere, so I can't take it off to show you in more detail, but I mean, I could, but then I probably wouldn't be able to get it back on right, knowing my luck. But yeah, it's fine. And then you have the flame effect, which goes from like a orange to a darker orange, or yeah, I would say orange to a darker orange, translucent plastic. And it's nice enough, you know, and it's got some sculpt in there, and that's about it. And it pegs into the barrel, and then the two kind of like fuel feeders, I'm guessing, sit on the side of this like little notched out piece on the plastic. So it works like a champ. And let's talk about the figure. So the head sculpt, right? We know the head sculpt. We've looked at this trooper before. It looks good. It's painted well with the red paint that looks like it's like weathered on. The blue notches, the gray, everything is done sharp in contrast to the clone troopers that I looked at from the 332nd. So all the gray, black paint plus the red, it works well. No issues. Double ball peg from the head into the neck, single from the neck into the chest. Doesn't get you a ton, but it looks good. Down and up, it's kind of fine. Swivel, confused trooper look, no issues. We've looked at this mold before, but so we have the shoulder piece. It's on the sheath that covers the ball peg where the shoulder disc hinge plugs in. So it rotates, it can rotate rather kind of independently, but it will get out of the way nicely. For the arm, it's fine. I think it works fine. I think for the cost of the figure that it's more than well done, to be fair. That's my thoughts on that. You get up to at least 90 degrees. The butterfly gets you forward and back a nice range. You have the swivel that gets you up until the shoulder pad kind of starts eating you up. All in all, fine. No bicep swivel proper. You do get it at the elbow hinge, which gets you more than 90 degrees, and then you get the swivel. You have the red paint added to the shoulder pauldron or the shoulder guard here, and then the bicep guard, and that looks good. And then you have the same stuff done to the forearm. I almost cursed there by accident. And then wrist swivel, hinge in, out on the supporting hand. Now, unfortunately, the supporting hand, there's nothing for it to support because it's for a general stormtrooper hand, right? Or weapon. And this is not that. This is bigger. So it doesn't really work all that well, which is a bummer. Same on the other side, and the wires don't really impinge the articulation at all. Single ball peg from the chest into the abdomen. Works well enough. Forward, back works better than forward, and the swivel, no issues. And the little accents on the abdomen look good. The belt's a separate piece that sits in a grooved part to not mess up the sculpt, so that's nice. T-joint and ball joints for hips get you out to there, which is decent. Forward and back to there if you move the thigh armor, which is fine because you can swivel the leg and get it back. Not that you'd ever want it this extreme, but just so you knew. Thigh swivels where the hips plug into the thigh armor. That's well done. Single hinge knee, you know, I haven't quite decided how I feel about them yet. The range here is pretty good, a little bit past 90, so that's fine. And then you get an additional swivel. Red markings on the ankles look good. I guess they look okay on the thighs. It's probably my least favorite part is on the thighs. It looks the most purposeful, where it's supposed to look kind of naturally weathered, I think. And then ankles, we have a disc hinge, gets you an ankle tilt up, down, and a rocker, and you have the gray paint at the bottom of the shoes. So, yeah, I mean, all in all, we know the mold. The paint is decent enough on it. It's, you know, the nuts and bolts of this figure work just fine. I'm not going to waste any time with size comparisons because we kind of know, and there's no real cool Imperial troops to kind of look at in regards to the Mandalorian quite yet. Like, yeah, there's the Stormtrooper, but we know what a Stormtrooper looks like next to a Stormtrooper. So once we get like Moff Gideon and maybe some of these other characters, I hope they do the German dude from the first episode, but it's a story for another time, I guess. But then when we get to a point like that, then I'll definitely show you. I'll probably do a diorama form, etc., etc., etc. So negatives, they come down mainly to the accessories. My backpack ensemble has a hard time staying plugged together, at least the one shoulder piece. It's actually disconnected right now at the picture you're looking at. And then you have a supporting hand that doesn't actually support the weapon because the weapon wasn't made for that supporting hand, and God forbid they make one new hand when they can just repaint something they already have, and now you're left with this one awkward hand. And that's the kind of stuff that Hasbro does that still to this day irritates the life out of me. What they need to do is make a wide range of different style hands for this line that they can repackage with different figures, raise the price $1 if you need to, but give us the options for display and give us options that actually work in regards to their weapons. It's inexcusable. The only other issue that I have is the paint on the thigh armor. It's just, it's supposed to look naturally weathered. It looks super purposeful and it's kind of off-putting, but that's about it. Positives wise, I love the sculpt of the weapon. I love the wires. Now they go back to the tank. The paint work on the tank is well done. The sculpt on the tank and the weapon are well done. Like, all of that works really good. It looks just like them. The trooper mold, as we already know, is a good mold, this new trooper. So I'm really happy with the way that the knees and elbows in particularly work here, as opposed to some of their other offerings using the same engineering. So it's a good mold. We already know that. And most of the deco is good and the accessory looks good. Just my beef with the hands and a little bit of paint. So overall, a recommend from me. Don't take my frustrations as any sign of discontent with the actual purchase. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.